tipping off the weekend in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. We're inside Capital One Arena getting ready for what should be a lot of fun. It's the Marquette Golden Eagles taking on the Hoyas of Georgetown. Glad you're with us. With my partner, Dickie Simpkins. I am Eric Collins, and well, Marquette, the Golden Eagles, they're coming off a huge win on Tuesday. They absolutely destroyed Providence. Justin Lewis, Dickie, he was the tone setter.
That thrashing they gave the Friars was led by Justin Lewis, the sensational second-year player, averaging 15 points a game, and is taking on the responsibility to be the main scorer. And then Georgetown's Aminu Mohammed. The freshman is unbelievable, can do it from everywhere on the court, inside, outside. He can get buckets. Both guys can change the game.
Let's take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Jeep from Marquette. Obviously the first year of the Shaka Smart experience, and there's a lot of new players. The only returning player in the starting lineup is Justin Lewis. He's surrounded by 4 transfers in Tyler Kolek, Daryl Morcell, Olivier Maxence Prosper, and Kirk Queth. For Georgetown, of note, need to tell you, Donald Carey will not play. The captain is out. He's been deemed to have an illness, so he will not be in the lineup, will not play. So it's Mohammed, Harris, Rice, Colin Holloway getting the start for Carey, and Malcolm Wilson. So Wilson and Queth will jump center. Let's do it. First meeting on the year between Marquette and Georgetown. And the homestanding Hoyas start with the basketball.
Georgetown not playing in a while. They need to take their time, almost be methodical at the beginning and be patient and execute with detail.
Georgetown last played December 18th, but you wouldn't know it by the first possession. Malcolm Wilson a bucket.
And everything I just described, they did that in the first possession, and that is good to see if you're Coach Ewing. Detail, patience, poise, and execution to get the layup.
Morcell up high, being shaded by Aminu Mohammed. Now Kolek whips a pass over to Lewis. Back to Kolek. Shot clock is down to 5. First shot of the game for Marquette, lips out. Everything but down for Prosper.
Both teams getting good shots on their first possession. That's the best thing you can ask for if you're both coaches.
Here's the freshman. Mohammed back out to Harris. Harris surveying. That was a pass intended for Wilson, and it's going to be Marquette ball. There's the legend, Patrick Ewing. Now in his 5th year, coaching his alma mater, won that national championship back in 1984 as a player, 2-time Big East Player of the Year, and an absolute prince of a man.
I asked Coach Ewing the other day, what's your New Year's resolution? He said, I don't believe in that, but if it was one, it's to win.
Catch and shoot in the corner. Prosper hits that one. That's a 3-pointer.
That shot was created by Kolek. Kolek very good at getting paint touches and having vision of his teammates at all times, making the defense collapse and finding the shooter.
Blocked away by Queth. He's wonderful at that aspect of the game.
Security.
And a foul as Omax Prosper hits the deck. There's Shaka Smart. Man, he's been around forever. He's still just 41 years of age. 6 years at VCU, 6 years at Texas. Now his first year at Marquette. Likeable guy, Shaka Smart.
He's still young at mind and young at heart. Excellent coach for where basketball is today with the type of kids, the type of mentality. He has the right temperament and the right energy to coach today's kids.
And he can recruit.
Oh, he could definitely do that. He's got some of the best talent at Texas. He got under-the-radar talent when he was at VCU, and he's had NBA players in both programs, so he has the ability to develop and coach NBA prospects.
1 out of 2 for Prosper. Prosper has all 4 points for Marquette. Georgetown actually ended Marquette's season a year ago. Georgetown won the Big East tournament, and on the way to the championship, they knocked off Marquette. Mohammed, nowhere to go.
Very good defense by Morcell.
Shot clock on his back. It's up and good for Harris.
And that is who they missed last game versus TCU, the last time they had an outing. He is very important to this team. He's the motor, the energy to their offense.
Justin Lewis. This is an important game for Lewis. He is from Baltimore, just down the road. Told he's got 20 family members in the stands today.
I remember those days, Eric, when I would come back in Providence and play in D.C. against Georgetown.
Look at the quick stroke of Caden Rice. Man, he had that ball in his hands for a split second.
Coach Thompson said, Caden Rice doesn't keep the ball in his hands for long. He has a quick release, a sharpshooter.
44 made threes already this year for Rice in his first year in the Big East. And an offensive foul as Holloway able to take the charge.
And when you look at my formula for success, Marquette, bring the heat. That means pressure full court like they do. That Shaka Smart energy, and then paint touches. They love paint touches to make the defense collapse. And then Georgetown handle Marquette's pressure on defense, and then the offensive pace is important.
Ball deflected back into the backcourt. That's a very important concept of Shaka Smart and his staff. That's another deflection. A block shot causes the deflection. So wonderful active defense leads to the run and throw down by Lewis. Oh, that's what Shaka Smart's talking about. That's the type of ball he wants to play.
And when you have a rim protector like Queth, a guy that rejects shots when they get in there, that creates your offense. Defense creating offense, as you see, getting out in transition.
Harris, back of the iron, rebounded Queth. Again, Marquette in a hurry. Morcell, back of the iron, offensive rebound, Queth. Kolek, extra pass to Prosper. Score the goal. Offense not a problem right now for either side.
And that's where Marquette got what they wanted. I said in the formula for success, paint touches. I don't know why the Hoyas closed out at Kolek so hard when he's shooting a low percentage.
Wonderful setup. Harris finds Wilson. Second chin up for Wilson to begin our ball game. And a travel. Kerr, Queth shuffled the shoes.
Here's defense creating offense. A rim protector, Queth, getting the rejection. Defense creating offense in transition, leading out for the slam. Justin Lewis, the sensational sophomore, throwing it down. Georgetown up by 1.
Well, we've got a 1-point ball game. 15-21 remaining in our first half. Georgetown on top of Marquette by the slimmest of margins. Marquette actually feeling their oats, man. They've already had a wonderful week. On Tuesday, a historic win. They took down Providence 88-56 in Albany with some thunder early from Justin Lewis.
Lewis setting the tone. You want your best player to set the tone at the beginning of the game. And then Queth doing what he does best, blocking shots. And then my rise and shine, Iguodala just catching it, playing against above the rim. The Golden Eagles, Eric, dismantled my Friars by 32 points.
That was the largest margin of victory in Marquette program history over a ranked top 25 team. They won by 36 points. Kirk Queth, he had 7 blocks, leads the team with 75 deflections. He has been just an instant sensation at playing the type of basketball that Shaka Smart wants to play with Marquette.
And one of the interesting things is speaking with Coach Smart today is he talked about the word respond.
Oh man, that was an awkward slip and fall by Dante Harris. What an unusual circumstance. I thought that maybe he slipped and it was a leg, but he's holding his left hand.
He's holding his wrist. Looks like he's holding his wrist.
Yeah, because the ball wasn't inbounded, they just said, hey, stop to make sure he's okay.
I hope he didn't get a serious injury.
Oh, my goodness. The hand bent totally the wrong way. That guy's tougher than woodpecker lips. He's going to stay in the ball game.
Yeah, hopefully it was just a sprain. Hopefully it was just a sprain. He's squeezing his hand in and out, getting the blood flowing again, and hopefully it was just a sprain and it'll loosen back up.
If he makes a left-handed layup on this time down the floor, it's going to be probably the most impressive thing we'll see all season long.
It's also one of those things, if it keeps hurting, he may need to go out the game and get it taped a special way.
Oh, my goodness! So quick off the floor.
Queth is another player, along with Iguodala, that has been playing extremely well in the emergence of their presence. Queth with his defense, his rim protection, and filling the paint with the dunks.
Now Dante Harris, no worse for the wear, makes a mid-ranger. Georgetown has gone to the bench for the first time. They've taken out Malcolm Wilson, already 2 dunks for Wilson. They've replaced him with Jalen Billingsley, freshman from Cleveland, Ohio. Kolek whips a pass into the corner for Lewis. 12-footer, up and down.
It's a luxury to have a point guard like Kolek. Just unbelievable vision, unselfish, and makes passes on the dime. His penetration, the left-hand hook pass, finding Lewis for an open one-bounce J.
Deflected, stolen away, Kolek. He's got Lewis with him. Justin Lewis having a dunk party in front of his family and friends.
And Kolek is unassuming defensively. He comes up with deflections. He anticipates in the passing lane. He's averaging close to 2 steals a game. And right there, just being very defensively smart and getting that steal.
Lewis with a couple of dunks. Oh, that was the left-handed shot I was hoping for from Harris. Didn't make it, but the left wrist is clearly okay.
Seems like it's doing fine.
Greg Elliott checks into the game. First time he touches it, misses a 3. And Lewis, did he step out of bounds? Oh, they called a travel. He was close to hitting the end line, but he traveled before he did anything.
And Marquette right there, Justin Lewis being active on the offensive rebounds. One of the things that Marquette needs to improve in. They're -2.5 a game in rebounds, and attacking the boards is a focus of Coach Smart's game plan for today.
Couple of changes for Marquette. Oso Iguodala and David Joplin both check into the game. Mohammed with the misfire. Greg Elliott. Last touch by Georgetown. It'll stay with Marquette. There's Greg Elliott. Elliott's been around this program for a while. Junior from Detroit. Looking to get off the schneid. He's scored us in the last 2 games is Greg Elliott, which is unusual because he can't explode at 22 back in December against UCLA. And a travel called on Joplin.
Greg Elliott can definitely put points on the board quickly with his jump shot. Smooth, silky J. Been struggling like you mentioned. Marquette has to figure out a way to get him open and get him easy looks so he can see it go through the basket.
Billingsley with the misfire and a foul as Holloway was going back up with it.
And Billingsley, strong body, not a above the rim playing guy for the most part, but knows how to use his body in getting position for offensive rebounds. The Hoyas are rebounding 6.5+ over their opponents every game.
First free throw of the game for Georgetown comes to the 12:42 mark of our first half. Daryl Morcell back into the game. Change for Georgetown as Dante Harris leaves for the first time. Tyler Beard has come in to replace Harris. Beard, a freshman from Chicago. Quick spin with the left hand. Prosper the miss.
I like the move. Nice and aggressive. Prosper is like the X factor for this Golden Eagles team, offensively and defensively. Aggressive move.
And Mohammed was out of bounds. Real slow start for Aminu Mohammed. 0 for 3 shooting the ball, and now a turnover.
Well, Marquette is locked in on Mohammed. They know he's their leading scorer. They know he's their go-to guy. They're locked in team defense. Their awareness when he gets the ball, they closing down the lane.
Cam Jones, freshman from Memphis, in the game for the first time for Marquette. He wears number 1. This is Jones, lefty 3, rattles it through. Cam Jones last time out had 14 points on Tuesday against Providence. He's still warm, Dickey.
The biggest thing about Cam Jones getting this wide open look, he went to take the screen, he came off wide open, C to 3, B to 3, Cam Jones.
FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. Well, there's been many more than one meetings between these two schools. Series actually began back in the early 40s. 32nd all-time meeting. And as it is right now, Marquette, a slim 3-win lead, 17-14. Georgetown won the last time out. We mentioned it ended Marquette's season last year at the Big East tournament.
And Coach Ewan took that team, as he references it, from the bottom to the top in winning that Big East championship. And coming back this season has 90% a different team from that team that won. So he's getting ready to take another team from the bottom to the top again.
After the timeout, extra pass results in the dunk. Jalen Billingsley. First bucket of the game for Billingsley. That's now 3 dunks for Georgetown early in our ball game.
That was a very good pass and recognition.
Strong power move along the baseline. Daryl Morzell. Georgetown's actually gone deep into the bench. They bring in Kobe Clark. Kobe Clark hadn't played much at all this season, but he's on the floor right now. We mentioned that Donald Carey, the grad student who's the captain, will not play in today's game. Billingsley, no, denied by Iguodala. And it's going to be Marquette basketball.
Well, Coach Ewan has to play a variety of guys more in the rotation today because they haven't played since December 18th, and they just started practicing 3 days ago. So he had to be careful leading up to this when they started practicing to get enough work for conditioning but not get them injured, and which results to having to use a bigger rotation for this game, getting back into the knack of things.
Lost 4 Big East games, 2 roadies, Providence and Creighton, 2 home games, St. John's and Xavier. Important to note, those games were not canceled, they were just postponed, so they will be made up. Kolek, 3-ball, Tyler Kolek, first of the ball game for the transfer from George Mason.
Marquette playing on all high cylinders since the last win versus Providence, making the extra pass, which you call the one more. Kolek only shooting 20-some% from 3, but knocking that open look down.
Malcolm Wilson back in the game for Georgetown. He had 2 dunks his first stint into the game. Nice cut, Jalen Billingsley, second bucket.
Billingsley rolling hard to the basket, keeping his eyes on the point guard, keeping his vision.
Iguodala, quick spin. Cam Brown. Shot clock's at 6. Cam Brown relocates. And Jones with the misfire. Cam Jones had made his first 3, misses on that. Left-handed layup in transition, Mohammed. That's the first bucket for Mohammed.
Excellent defense by the Hoyas, which resulted in a transition bucket by Mohammed.
Man, I love it. Cam Jones has just fired it up there. This time it goes begging. Kolek. Again. Oh, this time Jones didn't want it. Jones actually had the better look, Dickey, and he gave it up.
Yeah, and it was overpassing, but you can't be mad at the fact that they're sharing the ball like that.
Everyone on Marquette thought that was a travel, but we play on.
Yeah, it looked like Muhammad might have got away with a travel right there.
Kolek with the right hand. That's a left-handed player making a nice right-handed layup.
Well, I like his toughness. I like his savviness, and he's crafty. He knows how to penetrate. Not a very athletic guard, but uses his body, uses both hands as he did there to finish at the rim.
Former Rhode Island High School Player of the Year, Tyler Kolek. First go-around in the Big East after starting in the Atlantic 10 with George Mason. Freshman Mohammed.
Excellent defense by Morcell right there, the former Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year.
And a foul going for the rebound. It's called against Georgetown.
If you can see, Morcell is doing an excellent job making Muhammad have to work so hard. He's over-dribbling to try to get a basket, which will eventually wear him down. But that's what happens when you have a veteran college transfer like Morcell, who was the defensive player in the Big Ten last year, have the responsibility to guard the best player on the other team.
Stevie Mitchell comes in. Freshman from Reading, Pennsylvania, wears number 4 for Marquette. Part of that decorated recruiting class for Shaka Smart. Nice pass. Kolek finds Iguodaro at the window.
It's still the season for giving. Kolek still dropping off gifts after the holidays.
5 assists. 10 minutes of play. 5 assists, 5 points for Tyler Kolek. And Holloway is fouled. Holloway's the only Hoya who has shot free throws in our ball game. He'll shoot a pair.
And he can come in with the no look. He had his eyes on Iguodaro the whole time. The pick and roll executed precisely.
Tomorrow on Fox, UConn's going to take on the 24th ranked Seton Hall Pirates in a crucial Big East tilt. Then it's a heated Big Ten in-state showdown. You got Michigan State and you got Michigan. A huge day of college hoops tipping off tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Fox and the Fox Sports app. With Dickie Simpkins, I'm Eric Collins. I'll tell you what, we didn't know what we were going to get out of Georgetown. They haven't played since December 18th, but Dickie, right now they're going okay. They're shooting 50% from the field. They look like they're playing with energy. There's some precision to what they're doing. I think Patrick Ewing's got to be kind of okay with what's happening.
I'm sure Coach Ewing is happy, but it's one of those things when you haven't played in a while, you have all that energy, you get shut down due to COVID protocol. 9 times out of 10, young guys want to play basketball. And so that energy you see is being displayed out here in the early parts of the game. And what Coach Ewing hopes is that they can maintain that throughout the game.
Colin Holloway, 80% free throw shooter, is 3 for 3 at the line so far in today's ball game. Make it 4 for 4 at the free throw line for the sophomore from Baton Rouge.
The Hoyas showing a little full court 1-2, 1-1 press now. Making the Golden Eagles use time off the clock, giving them a different defensive look.
Kolek's pass deflected, but it stays with Marquette. Prosper. Last touch by Marquette, Georgetown ball.
And the Hoyas came out of that timeout almost like a boxing match. After they went to their corner, they got a little bit more rest, came out with more energy and activity, flying around, creating that defensive stop.
Dante Harris back into the game for Georgetown. Sophomore point guard picks it up from 17 feet, a little bit short.
I'm the Golden Eagles right here. I get the ball screen action again with Kolek. You want to use Kolek. You want to use Iguodaro in the ball screen, pick and roll. That has been a successful offensive action for Marquette in the last several games. Iguodaro has been able to finish around the basket, rolling hard. That is the action that I'm looking for to initiate our offense if I'm the Golden Eagles.
Backdoor cut. Kolek finishes at the rim. Beautiful pass to get him there.
Iguodala, a big who knows how to play on the perimeter with passing, with feel, with vision. Underrated passer he is.
Malcolm Wilson was open on the block. Harris can't find him. Holloway. Man, this guy's been a foul magnet. Colin Holloway, who's 4 for 4 at the free throw line, will have 2 free throws coming.
He's a talented and efficient offensive scorer, and one of the biggest things, as we see, he knows how to get fouled. You call them 4-level scorers, guys who can score from the 3,
Ooh, I like that.
from the mid-range,
Okay.
can attack the basket, and can get to the free throw line.
First miss of the ball game for Holloway. He shoots 80%. He's at 80% today. He's 4 for 5. Marquette, they've played 4 conference games. They are 1-3. This is the first Big East game for Georgetown. First 4 got wiped away. Prosper gets a friendly roll. Give another assist to Kolek, who set him up.
And I call Prosper the X factor for this team. He's the most versatile big on this team that can play inside and outside, knock down threes, post up, and defensively disrupt the game.
Stolen away. Kolek, who immediately throws it down the court. Run down by Mitchell. What a play! Prosper finishes at the rim. Stunning athletic ability.
OMG. Did you see the defensive execution lead to the offensive finish? The ball barely touched the floor, led by Kolek.
That is exactly how Shaka Smart wants his Golden Eagles to play.
The intensity, and I said in the opening, Georgetown needs to handle the heat. Right there, they didn't. Kolek doesn't even take a dribble. He steals the ball. He knows where Mitchell is already. A steal pass in the air that leads to an alley-oop finish for Prosper.
So the lead is now 9. It's the largest lead of the ball game for Marquette. Marquette makes a change. They bring Kirk Queth back into the game. Real quick trigger. Marquette gets it right back. They lead by 9. Marquette playing with confidence. Remember, they won over Providence early this week. 36-point win. And another chin-up. Queth this time on the business end of the alley-oop.
Sharing is caring. The extra pass. Seeing Queth. Nice pass by Elliott for the lob dunk. Marquette up by 11.
Now Marquette trying to go 2 for 2 on the week in Big East play. They've already defeated Providence, the 16th ranked team in the country, on Tuesday. And now in fine form on the road against Georgetown. And this last play is the one that's going to be shown in the film room this week by Shaka Smart about how they want to play ball.
Well, at first, Greg Elliott turned down the open Prosper in the corner after he had just made a shot. So I was a little suspect about that. But this is why when you coach the game, players, you have to allow them to see what's going on the court. And Greg Elliott turned down the 3 to get a higher percentage shot with the lob dunk.
And another deflection. Marquette basketball. Let's go! Prosper has had a prosperous first half. 13 points next to his name.
And I just said, he is a game changer offensively and defensively, can play on both sides, knocking down threes and creating offensive defensively, getting his hands on steals using the length.
Mohammed. Batted off the backboard, Marquette ball.
Mohammed has to work so hard against the Marquette defense. Has to get easier looks.
Oh, man, that's a pro move right there by Tyler Kolek. He just collected off the wrong foot, and before the defense can realize, throws it out the window.
The one thing that everybody has to understand when you're watching Kolek, he doesn't look athletic. He looks unassuming. He knows how to play basketball. His feel, his skill, his basketball IQ at a high level.
Catch and shoot Rice. Kolek with the head up. Elliott
Again, Kolek saw that 3 moves ahead. He's playing chess right now. He knew Greg Elliott was going to be in the corner. He slowed it down, let the action play, and found him.
Dante Harris fouled from behind. And so for the first time in the ball game for Georgetown, someone besides Colin Holloway will shoot free throws. How about Tyler Kolek?
The precision, the vision, precise passes on the money. You can't do anything but cash in with a 3.
By 18. 3:54 remaining in our first half. Tyler Kolek has just been the conductor that this orchestra has needed.
The Big East leader in assists, 6.5 a game. Look at the skill when he passes. He puts it on the money. You can't help but to score. Always has his vision on all 4 players on the court, finding them. And right here, again, already knew Elliott was in the corner and was able to line him up for a 3-ball corner pocket. Tyler Kolek, 7 assists, but get this, Eric, only 1 turnover. That is impressive. And last game against Providence, 9 assists for the game and 1 turnover. That is what you call cherishing the ball.
Dante Harris at the free throw line, shooting a pair. One last thought on Kolek. With the 7 assists and the 4 for 4 shooting, he has been involved in 11 field goals made for Marquette. Georgetown has 9 field goals made as a team.
And you know, what I would like for young point guards, everybody wants to be a point guard. I really want you to watch Kolek. Kolek has been able to take care of his teammates to start the game off, making sure they're taken care of, which then in return opens him up for his offense.
Kolek, Queth, extra pass to Elliott. Back-to-back threes, Greg Elliott.
The sharing of the ball is just infectious across the whole team. Everybody wanting to share it with their teammate, not being selfish. And when you have a big who can make passes like Queth, finding a corner shooter, it is just amazing to see.
Aminu Mohammed. Holloway with the left hand, 1 and done. Rebounded Queth.
Georgetown needs to get a little bit more body movement, ball movement to get better shots.
Morcell gives it right back to Georgetown. And a foul. Kolek got Harris on the arm.
When you have your point guard sharing the ball and your team sees it, everybody's understanding now. They know that this was what helped them win and get that blowout against the Friars. They're doing it again, sharing the ball, and you see Greg Elliott. I'm eating right now. I'm eating. And last game, Marquette shot 52% from the field, 43% from 3 because of that type of passing, Eric, to get good looks, easy shots.
And Marquette shooting 63% in today's ball game. Harris makes a pair.
The more you can reduce your dribble usage as a team and move that ball on a string with passes and quick passes, the better you can get open looks, high quality, high percentage shots.
Cam Jones back into the game. Kolek sits. Kolek picked up his 2nd foul. Not much to worry about, but Shaka Smart saying why not? Don't need to put him in jeopardy. Pass deflected, stolen away. Dante Harris the other way. Numbers for Georgetown, and they don't cash in. A wild layup missed. Prosper. Queth. And what do we have? A tie-up.
The game getting a little out of control right there in the last 2 possessions for both teams. Teams being too fast in a rush. Both teams need to bring it back down, recoup, get themselves back together, slow the pace down.
Possession arrow keeps it with Marquette. Justin Lewis comes back into the ball game for the Golden Eagles. Lewis gave Marquette energy beginning of the game with a couple of just forceful, emphatic dunks. Here's Lewis with a three ball. And he missed it so badly, it surprised Jalen Billingsley, who can't get the rebound.
Yeah, and Justin Lewis went 2 for 4 last game against Providence. His bread and butter is in the paint. If he can get in the paint, he can then work his way out.
All right, we've got a timeout on the floor. 1:58 remaining in our first half. So far, so good for Marquette. Welcome back. Final 1:58 of our first half. This is game number 16 of the Shaka Smart era with Marquette. Shaka now 41 years of age, third time he's been a head coach at the Division I level. Started it all at VCU, where in 2011 he took the Rams to a Final Four appearance. 6 years with VCU, and then 6 years at Texas. The Zenith, who I guess would be the 2021 Big 12 Tournament Championship with the Longhorns. And now, trying to work his magic with his home state school. He is from Madison, Wisconsin, coaching in Milwaukee with Marquette. Mohammed spins the layup up and in.
Nice ability to gather that ball, use the other side of the rim so it didn't get blocked. That's the easiest look Mohammed has had since this game has started.
And bodies flying. What do we have? Foul on Elliott. Offensive foul on Elliott.
Mohammed finally getting the opportunity to get more of an easier look in transition, using the other side of the basket to keep from getting it blocked. Him seeing the ball go through the basket now, maybe that'll help him get going. But Georgetown has to handle this pressure by the Golden Eagles. They have to get body movement, ball movement. They're not going to be able to do isolation one-on-one against this defense of the Golden Eagles.
Getting the start today in place of Donald Carey, out with an illness. And Holloway's had a nice offensive first half.
And that's a good job by Mohammed. He knows he's being keyed on. He penetrated, had all the attention, and hit Holloway. The vision to see him open in the corner. That is where Mohammed is getting better, Eric. He's improving as a young player on how to make plays for his teammates.
Tyler Kolek will come back in. Final 52 seconds of our first half.
Did you see the last several possessions, how the Golden Eagles are a different team when Kolek is not on the court at the point guard, and the responsibility is shared with Cam Jones and Elliott and Morcell.
9.7 assists for the man with the basketball, Tyler Kolek. Elliott lost it, dribbled it off his shoe. Zigging and zagging, Mohammed, score the goal, and a foul! Georgetown getting that momentum back right now, Dickie.
And that's what I call grown man strength by the freshman. The strong upper body, the shoulders, the ability to handle in transition, navigate, absorb the contact, and still concentrate to finish. Look at him, bumping the contact. Kolek won the offensive foul. The shoulders on Mohammed and the ability to attack.
And a technical foul has been called on Shaka Smart.
Coach Smart upset with that last play. He felt like Mohammed was an offensive foul when he went through the lane. Understandable complaint. Understandable complaint. But I don't think, I'm just going to take it back to the park outside. I don't think that that little bit of his arm was a major factor.
If your team is getting blitzed and the other side's done a 10-0 run, as a head coach, you're going to get a technical foul and allow the other team to get 2 cheap free throws? I guess you really got to be angry.
Well, it's not really, you don't really have a particular best time when you're upset on a bad call. And as a coach, you want to set a tone to the refs, to the officials, and you want to set a tone to your team. And it's kind of the long game. Coach Smart He fusses right there, gets a tech, hoping that that will help him in the long run.
Okay.
To get a call down the road.
All right, that's the spin. I love it. That's the spin. Difference between the game clock and the shot clock is 6 seconds. Deflected. Stays with Marquette. 9 seconds to shoot.
Good job by the Warriors. Right now, they have to finish off this defensive possession and be alert in these final 9 seconds. They played so hard right now, they can't afford to give up an easy bucket on this possession.
Elliott. Lewis. Georgetown has their opportunity. 6 seconds to get something up on the rim. This would be big. Mohammed the misfire. That would have made it, folks, a 5-point game.
Coach Ewan needs to be happy that his team is only down 8. The resilience to come back and bring it under double figures before the halftime.
Now, so far, so good this year for Marquette. When they lead at the half, they're unbeaten, 6-0. Right now, Marquette with an 8-point working margin over Georgetown. We've got a halftime report coming your way when we continue. Stick around, everybody. Get ready to start our second half. It's an 8-point lead for the Marquette Golden Eagles over the Georgetown Hoyas. Dickie Simpkins, let's go through that first half highlights.
Well, it's been an energetic game. A little bit of knocking down threes as you see Elliott in the corner. Prosper stepping up defensively and turning it into an offense. And then Culler, the leading assist in the Big East, finding his man Lewis. Holloway knocking down a 3 for the Hoyas has been impressive. And Muhammad getting it going in transition with the steal and the grown man finish.
Take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Jeep. Marquette, they shoot 56% as a team. They make those 6 3-pointers to just 2 for Georgetown. That's a big difference right there.
Well, what stands out is the Golden Eagles are handling their business with rebounds, and their bench points are definitely stepping up. Actually knocking down threes has helped too.
Leading scorers for both sides. You got Omax Prosper, averages 5 points per game, sitting at 13 right now. And Aminu Mohammed, we kind of knew he'd be their main guy, averages 14. He's got 9. Dante Harris backing him up. He's got 9 as well.
Well, on the Golden Eagles side, Prosper, I was saying throughout the game, he's the X factor. He will be the X factor throughout the season for this team because of his versatility and defense on both sides. And it's good that the Hoyas have Dante Harris.
We just saw in the middle of your screen, that was Ryan Mutombo. Didn't play. Now, doesn't play a lot, only averages 11 minutes per game. But he has played in every game this year, yet he did not play in the first half.
And he's a talented freshman. Different from his dad, though. His dad was a defensive presence. Ryan is more skilled offensively at this time of his young college career.
Mutombo, a famous name in Hoya basketball. Couple of looks for Georgetown, that time down the floor. They can't catch in. Here's Tyler Kolek. He was influential in that first half, had 7 assists. And now this pass by Kolek to Queth, and we've got a foul.
Well, the game was definitely different when Kolek was out of the game versus when he was in the game. The Golden Eagles lost their momentum. The Hoyas turned up their defense. Now they have to regain that with having poise and Kolek picking up where he left off.
Get out there. And Lewis traveled. Faked right, went left, and never put the ball down.
And you know, Justin Lewis has gone from his first year contributing to now he is the main go-to guy for this team, and he's continuing at a young age, young part of his career, to try to understand how to navigate that.
Colin Holloway, the reverse of it in. 10 points now for Holloway. Got the surprise start when Donald Carey couldn't go.
And he's a scorer. That was a crafty move, baseline. Bad defense by Marquette.
Kolek spins it up and in. Still hasn't missed the shot. He's 5 for 5.
Well, you see Kolek and Holloway both moving at their own pace and speed, luring the defense to sleep with quick flip-up layups on the reverse side of the basket.
Georgetown playing their first conference game. First 4 were postponed because of COVID. A quick touch. Caden Rice, he may have the quickest release of anyone in the Big East.
Quickest release, shooting 42% from the 3.
Harris runs down the loose ball. Rice the trailer, and was he out of bounds? Man, that has just become chronic.
Yeah, well, that right there, Caden Rice just knocked down a 3. He got his rhythm. He was coming in transition wide open. Dante Harris kind of bobbled the ball. If he didn't bobble the ball and was able to give it to him earlier, I don't see him stepping out of bounds. An empty possession.
5-point ball game. Closest Georgetown has been in a long time. And a foul as Holloway got tangled up with Lewis. Holloway actually got popped in the face. He's wondering, why is the foul on me?
Well, I like what Coach Shaka Smart is doing right now. He's trying to get Justin Lewis back into his sweet spots. His bread and butter, posting up in the mid post, which is a little bit off the block, and trying to isolate him.
Pass in close quarters, and Queth can't handle it.
Yeah, I don't think Queth was expecting that pass right there.
Kolek rips it away from Wilson. And Kolek just knows where everyone is on the floor, even the guys behind him. Drew contact and a foul. Call the foul on Aminu Mohammed. That's number 2 on the freshman. Big East preseason player of the year. Never quite got there from Daryl Morcell.
Morcell may have gotten hit on the arm on that possession. The officials didn't see that.
Nice dive. Harris finds Wilson, score the goal and a foul.
And you know Dante Harris is averaging 5 assists a game, but he's more of a scorer before he distributes. Right there, that's what I want to see Dante Harris do more of. Quick pass, quick recognition, feeding his big fellas on that pick and roll, and then it will open Dante Harris up for more scoring opportunities.
All right, Dickie, you played at Providence. You played against these centers from Georgetown over the years. Wilson is the latest, 7-footer. But over the years, Othello Harrington, Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe. Oh, my goodness, I love the one-handed free throw. Dikembe Mutombo, Patrick Ewing. Is there anything in particular when you think of a Georgetown big man that they all have to do? What's the common denominator?
Well, those guys that I played against, Alonzo Mourning, Dikembe Mutombo, as you see, Justin Lewis taking advantage of getting to the basket. But those big guys, Mourning, Mutombo, Othello, I played against all those guys that played against Coach Ewing in the NBA. They had a physicality about them that they set the tone and created space with. Now the game is a little different now where bigs play more on the perimeter, not as physical, more finesse, but that was the common denominator.
Kolek plucks it out of the air. Marquette, they lead, but only by 5. Kolek, 3 to the rim. He's 6 for 6, and a steal! Score it, and a foul! Daryl Morcell! Maybe that's why he was the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year a year ago.
The veteran Morcell, the transfer from the University of Maryland, has the anticipation in the passing lane, being crafty and sneaky to come in there and steal on the out of bounds, get the basket, and a chance for a 3-point play.
Morcell averages 13 points per ball game. That was his first basket, and it's a 3-point play. And just like that, Patrick Ewing's bunched down by 9. That was a 5-point trip down the floor for Marquette.
Now, if you're the Warriors, you have to keep composure. Again, this is where you have to handle Marquette's heat. I said, watch. Marquette's going to bring the heat, handle it. That means handle their pressure. This is where Dante Harris has to get the team under control, get back in that ball screen, and try to get Holloway or Muhammad a look.
Holloway is fouled.
And that was a good job. They had the mismatch there for Holloway with Stevie Mitchell, the 6'2", guarding the 6'6", and they recognized the mismatch right there. They need to get back to that situation, a mismatch for Holloway.
Jalen Billingsley is checked in, replacing Malcolm Wilson for Georgetown. Holloway, quick spin. Billingsley, an offensive rebound. Again, fight on the offensive glass for the Hoyas. Mohammed, no. Holloway is fouled.
And this is an Achilles heel for the Golden Eagles, rebounding.
So we'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have 2 free throws coming for Colin Holloway. Marquette leading over Georgetown. FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one 10-point ball game with free throws coming for Georgetown. 15:33 remaining in our second half. All right, Dickie Simpkins, how about we put your feet to the fire? Let's talk about some newcomers in the conference.
Yeah, you know, I always have my fresh faces. It doesn't necessarily mean freshmen. It could mean guys who have transferred to the Big East, but Kolek leading the list right here. You see him performing today, showing his ability to make plays for teammates, his quick hands in defense and steals, and making shots, just changing the tone. And Muhammad, another fresh face for Georgetown, who started off slow, gained his momentum in the end of the first half, and now he has to get back to putting that ball in the basket as a freshman.
Colin Holloway, sophomore from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. That is his 6th made free throw of our game. Only Hoya in double figures, 11 points. Holloway getting the start when Donald Carey couldn't go. He is out with an illness. Carey, the lone captain on this year's Georgetown team.
This is where Georgetown needs to turn up the intensity defensively.
A little bit off the mark, Oso Iguodaro. And Georgetown down 8 with the ball. Hoyas last time they played, December 18th. Wild shot with a left hand by Holloway. And it's Marquette ball.
Yeah, I like the fact that Holloway is trying to take advantage of his mismatch. I would say that that's not really the shot that he really wanted. Kick it back out. He should kick it back out, repost, get better position instead of taking that shot, which is not a good shot versus the smaller defender.
Cam Jones has checked into the game. This is Jones along the baseline. Extra pass, Kolek. Kolek hasn't missed so far today. Stevie Mitchell, the jump stop results in a foul. Oh, yeah. They called the foul on Holloway, but they just as easily could have called it on Jalen Billingsley with the slap on the way through.
Well, Marquette put the Hoyas at a disadvantage again, trying to get to the paint. That is one of the Marquette's golden rules. Let's get a paint touch to make the defense be in jeopardy.
1 out of 2 for Stevie Mitchell. Changes for both sides. Justin Lewis comes back in. Lewis, native of Baltimore. Lots of family members at Capital One Arena tonight.
And I was telling you earlier in the first half, I remember that feeling coming back home to the DMV, trying to get tickets for everybody. My teammate Michael Smith was from DC too.
Look at the speed and quickness of Dante Harris.
And that acceleration that Dante Harris has, that recognition, he saw it was wide open and just accelerated to the finish.
Nice move. Iguodaro along the baseline. Give the assist to Justin Lewis.
Iguodaro is somebody we haven't seen much of in this game. He's coming off of playing 2 great games. He has emerged as an excellent player here this season. The added strength, the confidence.
Malcolm Wilson. Did he land on someone's foot or just slip? It's going to be Marquette basketball.
Well, it was a wide open lane. Dante Harris able to penetrate. Then when you don't have Queth in the game as a rim protector, now he can attack. And then Iguodala, we have an Iguodala sighting after his excellent performance in the last game. Nice touch around the basket and footwork.
Kolek and Jones in the backcourt. Both left-handed. There's a lefty three. Jones rattles it through. Second three for the freshman from Memphis.
Instant offense when Cam Jones is on the court. Different type of point guard. Can score at any time coming off a 14-point game.
And a bad screen set by Jalen Billingsley.
One thing he can do, he can catch and shoot, and he can create offense off the bounce with the step. He saw the drive and created a step back to create the space to have a good look to knock down the three.
Do you have nice memories of left-handed shooters? Do you like left-handed shooters?
Hey, I remember Adrian Branch.
Ooh, well, hold on. We're in the Big East right now, partner. How about Chris Mullin? That'd probably be a better reference.
Chris Mullin's definitely. You're absolutely right. Chris Mullin with the left hand. I'm trying to think. I played with a guy, Maciej Zielinski.
What?
He was from Poland. He was the left hand Michael Jordan from Poland.
Beautiful move getting to the rim. Max Prosper. This guy averages 5.5 points per ball game. He's got 15 right now.
Yeah, but his talent is so good, you don't let the stats fool you. If you watch video of him, he has the ability to do what he's done in this game. Go off the bounce, knock down jump shots, post up.
Marquette on a 7-0 run. That'll probably be the worst shot all season long for Caden Rice. Normally airtight from deep. That didn't hit anything. Pass deflected, stolen away. Here comes Tyler Beard. And Kolek got it right back.
You can't afford to give the ball right back when you have put in great effort to get a steal.
Prosper! Oh, Max Prosper. Have a ball game, why don't you?
Oh, Max. Oh, I see you. Using that 6'8" frame. The kid from Montreal, Quebec, being able to rebound and push out, take off, and using the offhand against the defender to finish off the glass.
Points 16 and 17 for Prosper with a free throw coming. 81% at the free throw line for Prosper, so he's got a really good chance of having 18 points right now with 12-18 remaining in our ball game.
When he scores from now on in this game, I'm going to have to change my OMG to OMP.
I love it. Transfer from Clemson. So 2 years into his college experience, he's also already done the ACC and the Big East. Colby Clark has checked into the game, gives it up to Holloway. Cleared by Cam Jones. Whips it across to Elliott. Wow, is that pretty or what?
The silky smooth shooting stroke of Greg Elliott.
Caught that and stepped right into it. It's a pretty three.
Oh, so nice. The footwork, the 1-2 step.
And a block from behind. Cam Jones took it away from Dante Harris. Another bucket. Iguodala. And Marquette has rolled out to a 22-point lead.
Silky smooth Greg Elliott, the 1-2 step, the catch and shoot, the exaggerated follow through. Golden Eagles with a commanding lead.
11:29 remaining in our ball game. Tuesday, FS1 is proud to present an all-access. How about this? DePaul's going to take on Marquette. Both Tony Stubblefield and Shaka Smart will be mic'd live. The game comes your way commercial-free. We'll go into every single huddle, hear all the play calls, halftime talks, all live. You'll hear it all as the players hear it. It's the ultimate all-access experience. It's going to be Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on FS1. And to give you a sense of what you might get, here's Shaka Smart just moments ago.
Our advantage, guys, is our multiple efforts, our violence, our togetherness, our response. That's our advantage right now. Okay? Look from the first half. We got a little sloppy, they came back. That ain't happening right now. We're gonna keep getting stops.
Good stuff. He's remembering that the last 3 minutes of the first half when they had a big lead, Marquette allowed Georgetown to go on that 9-0 run and make this competitive again, and all of a sudden that lead is back up for Marquette.
And that 9-0 run was what Kohler got the game, but Coach Smart emphasizing to the team the togetherness and how you have responded so far to gain the momentum back in this game.
And Georgetown can't even get the ball inbounded, and they were surprised by pressure, and they have to call a timeout. All right, Georgetown, they're in trouble, down 22. FS1 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep. There's only one. Marquette leading on Georgetown. 11:29 remaining in our ball game. Georgetown, last year's Big East Conference Tournament champions. But Dickie, they're stuck in the mud right now.
Yeah, they're struggling right now, having some empty possessions. The last 4 possessions, turning the ball over after a steal, missing easy layups, and they're shooting way below their three-point percentage average. And you just had a timeout. You come out of the timeout and you struggle to get the ball in. If they can get their three-point shooting going here in this second half, it will help them come back. Obviously, they're missing Donald Carey, who shoots 47% from the three.
Marquette put full court pressure on, and they forced Georgetown to call a timeout because they couldn't inbound it. And then they turned it over, and now they turned it over again. Oh, my. Prosper with the chin-up. It's a 17-0 run for Marquette. They have made their last 7 shots in a row.
The Hoyas still discombobulated, unforced turnovers. And look at the pass by Iguodala, the no-look pass, seeing Prosper. I'm just impressed how this young team has been able to pass and share the ball with their teammates.
What an apt last name. Prosper with 20 of the 72 points for Marquette. Marquette doing this without Tyler Kolek, who was the impetus for everything they did positively in the first half. Kobe Clark, ball fell right into his hands and he scores. So that ends a 17-0 run.
The Hoyas changing up to their 1-2-2 full court pressure. They have to fly around. Right now, you're in a desperate mode in this game. You have to put pressure on the ball, play the passing lanes, try to create steals, get as many defensive stops consecutively that you can.
Justin Lewis. Elliott. And a couple of Hoyas surround the basketball but can't corral it.
Good defensive stop, just not having the luck right now. As you can see, Marquette's fast break points, all those fast break points, the majority of them created by their defense. And those paint touches creating 42 points, almost doubling the Hoyas' paint points.
Lewis, third dunk of the night for the sophomore. Justin Lewis coming off a 23-11 game against Providence on Tuesday. He's got 10 points and 5 rebounds with 10 minutes to play here tonight.
Marquette is responding very well after that big win against Providence and dealing with that disappointing 2 overtime loss to Creighton. And right here, you just had a good cut by Lewis, diving to the basket, coming off the veer screen. And Greg Elliott, known as a shooter, but showing his ability to recognize Lewis wide open and making a nice pass.
Dickie, we saw a lot of Justin Lewis last year, and we were impressed with him as a freshman. But it looks like he may have even changed his body a little bit. Looks like he's quicker off the floor. Looks like he's more energetic. He's improved in a lot of different ways, not just numbers-wise, but body-wise, seemingly from one year to the next.
Yeah, he definitely transformed his body, which you would hope that a first-year player would do in the offseason going into his second year. But just the confidence he had when Coach Shaka Smart handed over to him the ability to be the go-to and main scorer of this team.
Offensive rebound, Muhammad. Spins it up and through. Didn't have an angle, but he spun it. And it went in perfectly. Kolek and Morcell working together in the backcourt. Now Elliott, a touch. Good pocket. Daryl Marcel, known for his defense, but he's got some offensive game.
Yeah, he's very good in the mid-range area. He can pull up off the bounce right there. You saw him with the fadeaway. There's a reason why he's averaging 13 points a game, even though he's an effective defender.
Harris. Offensive rebound, Muhammad. I'll tell you what, this Aminu Muhammad is like an old school Georgetown player. Remember Perry McDonald? Perry McDonald was undersized for a big in the Big East back in the 80s, but he would grab every offensive rebound. He had more moves in the paint than Picasso. And this Muhammad guy, he's like Perry McDonald reincarnated.
Well, he has that 6'5" frame, strong, 210 pounds. A kid right out of the DMV area in Temple Hills, Maryland. So he's homegrown and fit for the Hoyas' style of play.
Every single offensive rebound he's going after. No Donald Carey for Georgetown. Found out before the game that he wouldn't play, dealing with an illness. The Hoyas, they missed their captain. Holloway continues with his nice night.
And he's showing you his ability to stretch the floor. 44% three-point shooter.
Marion Ellis has checked into the game. It's the first time we've seen the freshman. He's got the ball up high. Guard from Davenport, Iowa. One of the 4 quad cities along the Mississippi River. Kolek. That's his first miss, Dickie. Tyler Kolek had been 6 for 6. Well, we've got an official timeout. 7:52 remaining in our ball game. Colin Holloway got a surprise start, and he has contributed for Georgetown, but not enough right now. They're down by 21. Sunday on Fox, the NFL season finale comes down to this. First, the Packers take on the Lions or other regional action. Then in America's Game of the Week, the 49ers fight for the final NFC playoff spot against the Rams. Check local listings for the matchups in your area. Only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Now Marquette seemingly in control. They have a 21-point lead. 7:52 remaining in our ball game. Marquette not only a new head coach, but almost a brand new roster. There are only 3 remaining players from last year's team. You got 4 transfers, all started today. And then you got 5 freshmen coming in, a ballyhooed recruiting class. And you just kind of knew that Marquette would struggle out of the gate. They had a hard early non-conference schedule. But Dickey with that win on Tuesday at against Providence, and now with a commanding lead on the road against Georgetown, maybe a young team is coming together.
Yeah, it looks like that Providence game, that big win, looks to be a defining moment for this young team. And that usually happens for a young team. It's that one game that gets everybody to understand, as you see the strong drive right there by David Joplin. But you see a game like that help the team understand how they can win, what they need to do, and it's translated to this game how the Golden Eagles have shared the ball.
Another offensive rebound from Muhammad. Locked away from behind by Joplin, and it's going to be Marquette ball. The style of play that Shaka Smart wants to play, how hard is it to figure out? If you're coming from a different program, if you're a freshman, if you're just getting to know what Shaka wants to play, how long does it take you to figure it out and play 100%?
Well, it takes you at least, You're going to go through preseason not really understanding because you're only a freshman, you're new to the style. But around this time, once Big East play starts, you figure into the first 5 games of Big East, you've played enough to understand what Coach Shaka Smart wants from an intensity level, speed level, attacking the basket, and the pressure. Holloway, not known as a shot blocker, but playing on the side that the attempt was made with the right hand. That was an easy block.
Queth give the assist to Ellis. Well, Shaka Smart has gone deep into his bench. He's gone 11 players deep. Everyone getting some experience of playing a conference road game.
One of the things Shaka Smart is doing with this young team is he's accelerating the development. He's playing these young guys. Opportunities like this with the league gives other young guys to come in and accelerate their development. So, like you asked me the question, it helps them move faster and closer to playing the way Coach Shaka Smart wants.
Last shot was blocked by Queth. He covers up a lot of mistakes with that length and timing. 6-10 and 3 for Queth. Coming off a 7-block performance against Providence on Tuesday. Mohammed loves that spin, doesn't he? Run down by Ellis. Here comes Marquette.
When you look at this game, the Hoyas not having Donald Carey is really showing. It's a glaring piece of the game as another turnover.
Man, they just go for the deflection every single time, don't they? Ellis with the misfire. Credit Stevie Mitchell, though, defensively. Hands everywhere. Dickie, much has been made of Shaka Smart and his importance on deflections, block shots, steals, getting hand and passing lanes. There actually is some coaches and some philosophy is you go for steals, you go for block shots, you get out of position. He clearly doesn't believe that. He wants deflections at all costs, seemingly.
Well, he has a culture defensively that has built trust in his past stops at VCU and at Texas. He's carrying that culture here. It doesn't matter what players you have. Obviously, you have to find the players that fit your system, but they want to get 32 deflections a game. They're averaging 27 a game. They've hit this 32 goal 6 times. But as you mentioned, block shots helps your defensive field goal percentage. Steals helps it. But the trust to go for deflections, knowing that your teammate's going to help you, is fine.
That ball deflected by Georgetown. Extra possession for the Hoyas. That'll be a deflection for Stevie Mitchell. He's the last man to touch it. It will be Georgetown ball.
And I was talking about Donald Carey, who's the leader of this team, who's a guy that was averaging 12 points a game, who can knock down jump shots. You can see that him not being here is putting so much pressure on Muhammad. He's working so hard against this Marquette defense to try to score.
Quest with the rebound, and Marquette leading by 23 has possession of the ball. Nice move. Another bucket. That is Prosper. Continues with his marvelous game. 9 of 11 shooting, 22 points in 26 minutes.
As you're watching this game, you have to understand this score is not indicative of the Hoyas' talent and abilities. Hoya fans, basketball fans, understand the patience that you have to have. The Hoyas coming off of the COVID protocol, missing Donald Carey, have started practicing a couple of days ago.
Muhammad, it's the first one, he'll get another. It's one man you don't want to disappoint.
No. And if you remember last season, Georgetown had some games where, you know, it was tough losses by a lot of points, but Coach Ewing knows how to get the team together when it starts moving through the Big East season. When he gets all his guys back together, Donald Carey, Dante Harris back from after not playing, and everybody is on the same page and in sync. Believe me, the Warriors, like Coach Ewing always says, they're going to come from the bottom to the top like they did last season.
Ellis misses the front end of a 1-and-1, gives it right back to Georgetown.
You see right there, it's just Muhammad took so many dribbles to manufacture that shot. That was an empty possession. That's so tough.
Look at that move. Stevie Mitchell showing you why he was such a sought-after recruit coming out of Reading, Pennsylvania. 4.5 to play. These two clubs will meet again in Milwaukee 2 days after Valentine's, February 16th. Deflection, Marquette ball. Iguodaro. Now they're going to get close to that desired number of 32 deflections. They have been super active.
I really like Iguodara's talent. I think he's going to be a real good player in this Big East. Just keep it continuing to come along every game.
Iguodaro came into this game shooting 79%. Today he's shooting 80%. Dickie, he's made 4 or 5 shots in the field.
Well, this is why he shoots a high percentage. Whenever you can get a dunk playing above the rim, the deflection defensively, the quick recognition by Prosper, and then Iguodara playing above the rim.
Nate Johnson ready to roll for safety. See if he and the number 22 Musketeers can shake off a little bit of that rust. Their first game in 17 days at Butler tonight. Second game of our Big East doubleheader coming up when you're done in D.C. Eric and Dickie.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the Big East in full throat conference-wise now that Georgetown has played their first conference game. Remember, Georgetown had those 4 postponed games, but now we're playing one. And so everyone is underway, and so far early in the year, Dickie, this is what we're looking at.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at what the Big East, first of all, did an unbelievable job in non-conference play. Now they're getting into where they're going to battle and fight each other out throughout the Big East. You know, when we started off the season, everybody was being disrespectful to my Providence Friars. And I know that Marquette handed them a big loss, but they had them at 7. I was like, yo, come on, stop playing. Providence up there. But the Big East, St. John's doing a good job. They're talented. Providence, Villanova, you know Coach Jay Wright is always going to have that team getting it done. Coach McDermott was having Creighton playing well. And they came into Marquette and snuck out that 2 overtime win. And Georgetown starting off again. You pretty much have to take this game away just after all the circumstances leading into your first Big East play when everybody's been playing already.
Georgetown hadn't played since December 18th, folks. Last time they played was against TCU 3 weeks ago. And after tonight's game, Georgetown's going to have a while to get things together on the practice court. They won't play again until next Thursday. So they've got 6 days before the next game. Next game will be against Butler in D.C.
And that will be an important 6 days. As you can see, their next 5 games. Again, they're going to come up against ranked teams. But those next 6 days will be important for Coach Ewing and his team. Watching film, getting back into the groove of practice. Throw this game away. Start over. Get back into the groove of things.
Up and down. Ellis, his first triple. Freshman from Davenport, Iowa. Dickie, when you play, your 4 years playing for Rick Barnes at Providence, did you get better in practice or did you get better in games?
It was a little bit of both. Got better in practice because you're getting the repetition that you need. I always believe that perfect reps build perfect instinct. And then you know the game, you're getting on-court experience, you're building your confidence, where it has to translate. So it was a little bit of both.
Man, this Stevie Mitchell is a pest, isn't he? He's getting his hand on every loose ball. Yeah, that's what Marquette charts. Not necessarily turnovers, but just deflections, being disruptive. Malcolm Wilson keeps it alive for Georgetown. Mitchell the last to touch it, and it's Georgetown ball. All right, what's next for Shaka Smart's Marquette Golden Eagles? They'll play against DePaul. That game is going to be on a Tuesday. Then you got Seton Hall, Villanova, Xavier, Seton Hall. There's that window, starting with Seton Hall, where more than likely Marquette's going to go through a 6-game stretch where every team they play will be ranked. Seton Hall, Villanova, Xavier, Seton Hall, Providence, Villanova.
Well, the good thing is they've played a pretty tough schedule up until this point. They've beaten a ranked team. When I say beaten, they actually blew out a ranked team. So they should have confidence, and they should have a lot of footage to show that they are going to be fine in competing against those ranked teams in this upcoming games.
That's a big disparity right there. 23 assists already for Marquette, just 11 for Georgetown. Stevie Mitchell, give him a bucket. One thing I've seen with Oso Ighodaro, not just a really good finisher, he's a good passer.
Yes, yes.
I remember a note last year we were told by Scott Kuykendall, arguably the finest SID in all of college basketball. Ighodaro, when he finished high school, he actually entered into Marquette academically as a junior. So he's a heady guy in the classroom, and he's a heady guy on the court. Understands how to play.
Yeah, it shows with his passing ability, his feel. Like that pass he just made, the outlet. He had instinct to just know where Stevie Mitchell was. He had nice touch on the lead out on that pass. The one piece that he will have to continue to develop is the shooting piece. Being able to expand his game out to the perimeter and be a reliable shooter.
Well, he didn't try to do what he can't do. He's never attempted a three-pointer this year, and he's 73% at the free throw line. So do what you do well, right?
No, absolutely. You never get away from who you are, and that's the one thing that Coach Shaka Smart said about Ighodaro. He knows who he is. He doesn't try to do anything different. But at some point in time, you want to try to develop your game to be able to add that, but never get away what your bread and butter is.
Final minute of our ball game. This was an 8-point game at the half, but Marquette just came storming out of the locker room to make this thing the score that it is now, a 30-point lead. Marquette has cleared the bench. Michael Kennedy's come into the game. Brendan Carney's into the game. And starter still on the game right now for Georgetown. Dante Harris is fouled. Now we shouldn't forget the performance by Omax Prosper. Came into this game averaging 5 points. He's going to finish it with game-high 22 on 9 of 11 shooting.
O-M-P. Showing the versatility, got it done inside and outside. Again, believe me, the Golden Eagle fans out there, he is the X factor on this team. Kulik is going to do what he does. Kulik is going to do what he does with making plays for his teammates. Justin Lewis is going to score the ball. But Omax is the X factor for this team as they continue to progress.
And Marquette is going to dribble this one out. Marquette, 2 consecutive Big East Conference wins. They now have 10 wins overall on the year. They're 10-6 and 2-3 in Big East play. Georgetown, their first game since December 18th, they fall. They're now 6-6 on the year, 0-1 in Big East play. Sure hope you enjoyed it. For my partner, Dickie Simpkins, I am Eric Collins. Now let's send it to Mike Hill and Mr. Thesaurus, Steve Lavin in the LA studios.